Hello everyone, it is Thursday, May 25th, 2017. Of course, yesterday was New Comic Book Day, so as always, we're going to show the books I picked up yesterday. I also have a question at the end of this video as it relates to someone's integrity and what you all think about that as buyers and sellers of comic books. And I got a question from a viewer or from one of the subscribers, which of course I always appreciate, who said, hey, you never seem to show anything that you get in the mail when you do get things in the mail. So today I got 3 things in the mail and we are going to open that on the video. So I hope you enjoy that. So let's jump right into what I picked up this week. This is Redneck number 2. Punisher Deadpool variant, kind of a really cool Deadpool holding him a La Muerte skull to the Punisher. Detective Rebirth, this is 957. Sorry about the glare. Trying to get used to the new setup here, and it's going to be hit and miss once in a while. Suicide Squad 18. Deathstroke 19. Wonder Woman 23, cover A. Cover B, doing a little golden lasso dance like a stripper at a club. You go, Wonder Woman. And then, of course, we have talked about, or at least I have talked about pretty much the last few videos about Boundless Entertainment and the adult covers they come out with. I'm not going to show them. Jungle Fantasy came out with 3 this week. It's Jungle Fantasy Survivors. They're quite graphic, sexually in nature. There is a huge underground market for that, and if you buy those books, usually they have a $7.99 price point because of what it is, but within a very short period of time, you know, they're selling upwards of $18 to $35 for these books because a lot of places don't order them because of the content of the book, or actually the content of the cover of the books, because, you know, a lot of kids come into these comic stores. So what I have to do is I buy them, I place them in holders, put them in sealed boxes, you know, and then I have my customers who come in and say, hey, did you get the new, you know, Jungle Fantasy, Unholy, you know, Helena, whatever the whatever the book is for that particular week. And they sell really good. I have a pretty big selection of them. And one day I'm just going to throw them all up on eBay and make some money on that. So again, Boundless Entertainment, Jungle Fantasy, and those books right there. If you look to try to flip something for money, some of you do that. I do it because I have 3 or 4 customers who come in and buy these books. Really good return on those books, very limited if you can find them in good shape. The big book yesterday, besides Redneck number 2, was Venom, the 150th issue. There was that right there. I picked up a couple of those. And the variant covers people were grabbing, but the 2 that I saw was the 1 in 25 variant cover, which was really nice, all black, with had Venom on the cover of it, and the 1 in 100, which was not impressive at all. So I was talking to the comic book, the guy, the shop I go to, and was like, you know, the 1 in 25 is a hell of a lot better than the 1 in 100. And he was like, yeah, I agree with you. So that's what it is. Kind of a small week. I picked up, I mean, my bill was kind of big because of the adult covers I had to pick up for my customers. And I picked up multiple copies of the Venom book. And his shop was only 1 per person on the Redneck number 2. So there was that there. And then let's see what I picked up in the mail. Again, customer called me and said, you know, you never show your books that you pick up. I usually don't, but I thought, you know what, let me do that right here, right now. So this is one book. I picked up 6 books total from 3 separate buyers. I like to see how they're packed. This is the first one. I don't know what they are, or, you know, I don't know which individual books these are. So this comes out here. And these are, they're bagged and boarded. They look fairly decent. This is a Strange Tales 149. And a Tales of Suspense 96. So. 12-cent covers are becoming much harder to find. Much harder to find. So there was those 2 books there. Let me see what we have here. See if I can get some scissors here real quick. Here we go. And this is, I'm not sure what this is. So I was, those look like they'd be in pretty good condition. Of course, I really haven't broken them down. But again, I've said this in prior videos, is that if you're buying older books online, I don't believe anybody who does the grading, because quite frankly, there are some terrible graders out there. So if you're going to buy books like that, look at the book, get a basic understanding of what you're looking at, and then adjust your grade, as such. So this looks like it's 3 books. This looks like it's 3 books here. If I can get in there, here we go. I always love, and I'm sure some of you have got this before, they don't use actual, backing boards. They use pieces of, cardboard that they cut up, in the old school manner like that. Every one of them was like that. He packed it in some board here and in a bubble mailer. So the 3 books I picked up here, and again, excuse me while I look at these a little closer. Tales of Suspense 83. Tales of Suspense 85. Got a little mark there on that 12-cent area there. Always like that cover though. That kind of an Iron Man thing. And a Tales of Suspense 82. I did not pay a whole lot for these books. Again, looking at the condition, it's about what I thought they were going to end up being. They were saying they were going to be in the 7 range. I figured they were going to be in the 4, 4, 5 range, just because that's how I do it. So I pay accordingly on that. So that's what I have there. And the last book here, right into some thick cardboard. Wish people would learn to pack things a little better. So let's see what we have here on this. I know what book this is. This is the last of the books here. And this isn't actually an expensive book, and it certainly wasn't in the best of condition, but it is a very sought after book because of the cover. And so that would be, of course, Tales of Suspense 98, Captain America, Black Panther. And this book here seems pretty decent. I mean, about what I thought it would be. There was a little bit of creasing on it. So not bad. I mean, I didn't pay hardly anything for these books, so any condition would have been good. But the whole idea is, it's so hard to find higher grade books now. I am just trying to stock up on 12-cent books. 12-cent books are becoming impossible to find, and when you have the opportunity to buy some at a decent price, and to tell you how hard it is to get books these days, I bid on 87 books in the last week, and I got 6 of the 87 that I bid on, because people are overpaying for books. They're overpaying for books, and then they get mad when the grade isn't what it's supposed to be. So, quick recap again. Tales of Suspense 98. Tales of Suspense 82. Tales of Suspense 85. Tales of Suspense 83. Tales of Suspense 96. And the one that looked actually really, really nice, looks really nice actually, from what I can see, is Strange Tales 149. So there's that. So I picked up some books there, so I hope that answered your question. I do get books in the mail, so that's pretty much how I get them. And that's pretty much all I'm buying right now are 12-cent covers, and trying to get them as the best price possible, because I'm just going to pack them away and then bam, pull them out one day when I need some back inventory in the shop. So the last question as we continue here on this is, I saw a video on YouTube. A guy was talking about a purchase of Detective Comics 27. Of course, that is the first appearance of Batman. And he has a shop, and I think this video was kind of old. If not, they're living in a time warp, because their clothes there really weren't, modern clothes. But he shows this book that he picked up. He's like, yeah, it's a Detective Comics 27, and this is one of the attic finds. A couple brings the book in and says, hey, is this worth anything? And his video, he's like, yeah, it's worth a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's worth a little bit, like $250,000 in the condition that you were showing. So here's the thing, and this is a question, okay? I've had the ability over the years to purchase good collections at next to nothing price because the people didn't know what they had. And excuse me, I've been sick. And I always have the pull back and forth like an Animal House, you know, the good and evil guy on my shoulder. Do I rip somebody off to make a couple of bucks because they don't know what they have? Or do I look at myself in the mirror and say, you're doing the right thing and good karma comes back to you, and I tell them exactly what their books are worth, and I help them hook up with collectors who will pay a good premium price because it is the right thing to do. So that's what I do. I know a lot of collectors out there that their argument is, well, if a person's coming in to sign up, sell something, they should know what it's worth before they sell it. So it's not my fault that I paid $10 for a $6,000 book. It is your fault. And this is why it's your fault. As a comic book community, it is our responsibility as business people to, yes, you want to maximize your ability to make money. Everybody wants to make money. But an unscrupulous buyer, someone who rips people off, gets a bad reputation in the industry, and I have no interest in having a bad reputation in the industry. If it means that I have to kick a collection off to somebody else because they, will pay the proper money for it that I possibly couldn't afford to pay. I can't pay $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for collections when I know I have people that I know who can do that, and I'll kick it to them. And in return, they'll give me a little finder's fee or they'll do something like that. But the bottom line is I can put my head on the pillow at night and know that I did the right thing. I can look at myself in the mirror and know that I did the right thing. I am not here to rip anybody off. So I am curious to hear what you happen to think of that in the comic book community. Would you do business with a person who's honest? Or would you go out there and try to rip somebody off? Because I've always been under the impression that if your reputation goes around that, this guy is a fair guy and he pays really good money and he's honest with people, people will come to you for that. Instead of getting the reputation that, yeah, I bought one good collection at a really cheap price because I ripped the people off, but then I lose the next 25 collections because no one wants to do business with me. So that's the question of the day. What do you prefer? And be honest. If you think that, if a person has the right to rip somebody off, even though they know what the books are worth and the person doesn't, hey, that's your life. That's what you want to do, and I'm okay with that. Shout out to some people here today. That's just a quick question I put out there. Not that I'm trying to preach to y'all, but I think there's some truth to having integrity in the industry and doing the right thing for that. So I want to shout out a couple of customers came in from Hawaii, picked some stuff up. So thank you very much for that. And as always, we've hit 1,100 subscribers. That's fantastic. I just want to keep getting more and more subscribers, only because I enjoy what I do, and I think that I get a lot of good comments from the viewers. And the one little thing I want to say, the last thing, this is one of the longer videos I've done, but one of the last few things I want to say is every time I do a video as it relates to CGC, there's always the people out there who hit me with the thumbs down, and that's okay, because they're defending CGC, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you believe and you want to do CGC, that's fine. But my views are my views. Please don't send me messages that say what an ass I am or, what a tool I am, because I have a belief that, this is how I believe, and I just put that out there. These opinions are my opinions. If you agree with them, that's fantastic. If you disagree with them, fantastic. If you want to question the way I do things and send me messages, do that, but don't be disrespectful in the messages, because it just makes you, the person, look bad. Okay, I don't disrespect anybody and call anybody names and things of that nature. So, don't do it to me. Not that I go and cry at night, but you know what? It just isn't right, because my opinion is my opinion, your opinion is your opinion, and that's what makes this community and this industry great, is that we can have diverse beliefs and different things in DC versus Marvel, grading versus non-grading, raw versus slabbed. That's what makes us great. That's what makes this channel great. That's what makes you, the people who subscribe and watch these channels, great, and this is why I do that. So again, I went on a couple of different little rates here, books I picked up, the new books this week. Remember, Boundless Comics. If you can find that stuff online, you can actually make some money off of that. Again, if that's what you're looking for. Some of you might not be into that, that's fine. But I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon.